I'm Geoff from GC2 Photo Club, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a panorama in Photoshop. But first off, let's go and take some photos. Okay, we've taken our photographs. We're now back in the studio. Let's have a look at Photoshop to see how to put them together. Okay, ready to make a panorama. When taking a series of photos for a panorama, a tripod is a big help, but Photoshop is so sophisticated these days that you can shoot handheld and let Photoshop align them for you, as I am doing here. When shooting a panorama, the most important thing is to make sure that your images overlap. The more the better. As a rough guide, about 30% of your image should overlap onto the next shot. As you see here, this image contains information on the right hand side, which is on the left hand side of this image, and so on and so forth. I like to shoot in full manual mode to get an even depth of field throughout the set of images. Also, try to avoid changing lighting conditions, as you need all your exposures to be even. I like to take a shot of my thumb before the first image, like I have done here, and also after the last image, like I have done here. This helps me to locate the images if they're contained amongst the big set. When you're looking through your folder for the images, it's very easy to spot them. They're the ones between the two thumbs. There are lots of different ways of locating your images like this, but I like to do it this way, as the thumb up is a positive signal, and if I make a mistake at some stage during the shooting, I just do a thumb down shot. That way I know that set were rejects. When shooting images for a panorama, turn your camera so that you are shooting in portrait format, like I have done here. Otherwise, you will end up with a too long and thin image. Try to keep the camera steady and try to shoot everything from the same angle to avoid too much distortion in your final image. Once you have shot your images, if they are going to need adjusting, do this now in the Lightroom Develop module or in Photoshop's RAW filter. This will save you time later and will help you get maximum quality. Try to make sure that all your images match as far as exposure and white balance are concerned. In this case, I'm happy with the files as they are, so I will make any corrections needed to the final image. Now let's join our images together into a panorama. As you can see, I'm in a Lightroom workflow at the moment. And first of all, I will show you how to start the process from Lightroom, and then I will show you how to do the whole process from Photoshop. First of all, select the images that you'd like to make into a panorama. Then go Photo, Editing, Merge to Panorama in Photoshop. If this dialog box appears, click Open Anyway. As you can see, we've now gone across to Photoshop and we have another dialog box here. First of all, make sure that you've got Auto Layout selected. Then make sure that these checkboxes here are all checked or ticked. That's Blend Images Together, Vignette Removal and Geometric Distortion Correction. Then click OK and sit back and watch Photoshop merge our images together into a panorama. This may take a little while depending on how many images you have and the quality of them. In this case, we've only got 4 images, so it shouldn't take too long. Notice our images and their masks over here in the Layers panel. And you can see that Photoshop has now put together our panorama. Because I handheld the camera, the images haven't aligned perfectly. We've got some gaps here, but it's not done a bad job. And both our horizon here and the pier are nice and straight. Even with the tripod, you will get some blank areas here, but we can use our crop tool to crop them out, or one of the other tools such as Content Aware Fill to finish off our photograph. Let's have a look at how to do the process totally in Photoshop now. So here we are in Photoshop, ready to make our panorama. With nothing selected in your window, click on File, This brings down the menu. Click on Automate Photo Merge. In the dialog box that pops up, check that you've got Layout on Auto. Then check the boxes down here, Blend Images Together, Vignette Removal and Geometric Distortion Correction. Then click on Browse to navigate to your images. In this case they're in my picture folder. Select your images, click OK. Then click OK at the top of your dialog box here. And let Photoshop merge together your images as a panorama. This can take a few seconds depending on how many images you've got and the quality of the images. In this case I only had 4 images, so Photoshop put them together very quickly. Notice our layers and masks over here in the layers panel. I'm now going to crop my image to finish it off. I've already got the crop tool open, so this shouldn't take too long. Down here, something like this. Okay. Click on the check mark, and there's our final panorama. There's one last thing to do. Just click on the menu here and flatten our image, as this will save us quite a bit of disk space because panoramas contain lots of information. Now we've flattened our image, we can get rid of the layers panel and our history panel, and we now have our final completed image. For the geography enthusiasts amongst you, this here is a photograph of Southend Pier. It's 25 miles east of London and it's the longest pleasure pier in the world. Hope you found that tutorial useful. Please go to our website GC2photoclub.com for more videos and information. I'm Geoff Cable from GC2 Photo Club. Hope to see you again soon.